Hey, it's me, Rai, and this makes day 4. It's October 4th, and it's a Sunday here, which means that Monday is coming, and that was kind of, I don't know, like my deciding factor on whether or not I thought this was a good idea. It's also my first day of starting training for the ultramarathon that I want to run in March. It's ultramarathon I had trained for earlier this year, and then it got canceled about a week before, because for most of us, we know, like mid-March was when the US really started shutting down, and my race was supposed to be March 12th. And I had moved to Washington at the beginning of the year, and this was kind of the anchor. I was going to do the Chuckanut 50K trail race, and then right before, when I was tapering and all ready to do it, and honestly it was like the only thing I had going for me. I hadn't found work yet. I was living at my parents' house, and I was ready for it, and I was super excited, and then I didn't get to do it, and I had a rough time for the few months after that. I didn't run, and I had a hard time with my eating disorder, and I'll get into all of that later, how running affects my eating disorder and how I've had to manage that, and how I'm going to manage that if I ever want to be really into running again, and how I do that in a healthy way. But all that today say is that today is Monday, and I've been thinking a lot about if I'm really going to do this, and if this is right for me. And I just kept coming back to this idea of there are so many things that I want in my life. Like, there are so many frustrations that I still face being in specialty coffee and loving it, but feeling like I'll never make more than $30,000. And that's super frustrating. And I can't have a retirement fund, and I don't know how to have savings. And I was married to a doctor, and now I'm not. And I have to figure things out for myself. And then wanting to work on things like, I have a degree in theology, and I don't go to church anymore, and I consider myself an ex-evangelical, and I don't read the Bible, and I'm trying to figure out how to deconstruct my faith, and also have a political voice and be brave in that sector, and also just access more of me. And that's the thing I always come back to with my eating disorder, is that I feel like I never really learned how to access me, that my eating disorder ultimately is the thing that pulls me away from reality. It's my escape, it's my coping mechanism, it's my way of not feeling my feelings. And I find myself withdrawing from life, or not being able to be present because I'm not eating, and I'm filling my time with so many things, or I'm binging and purging, and so I'm hiding, and I'm not being around people. I don't want to engage with anybody. And so just trying to be present, but is really hard sometimes. But I know that, the 13 years of stuffing feelings away and ignoring them and filling them with miles and not eating and anxiety means that it can be really hard for me to be present with life, and to be present with the things that are going on, and not always be anxious about the future, and not always want things to be better. And if I really do want to access all of me, I feel like I have to get through this eating disorder layer first. And I've been trying to work around it, and there's this surface level me that is really palatable, and that is the image that I show people and that they know about me. And with my ex, he didn't know a lot about me because I felt like I had to hide that side of me, and so he knew a version of me, or he knew this surface side. And I think my friends and family and the people I work with, that's the side I can access the most. And then right under that surface is this recovery person that I'm always trying to manage. And with some people I can be honest about, and with other people in support group I can be really honest with, or with my therapist I can be really honest. But then I feel like there's all this other stuff under it, these creative parts, this voice that I want to have, this ability to go back into my church communities, or just re-examine my faith after having spent so much time in it, and be able to look at it. And it's I just don't have any energy after just like being the person I am day to day, and then like trying to manage my recovery to get through to this other aspect of me, these other bits of me. I have to be more present, and I can't be escaping into the eating disorder, and I've got to like find a new way to get to those parts through my recovery and have it be like an open door or a gate that I get to this other side of me. So I guess what I was feeling was that if I ever want to get beyond just the surface me, this like nice image, this like palatable version, this, achieving, well-rounded, just like easy person that doesn't have a lot of problems and can manage them, I'm gonna have to go through my recovery first. And so maybe this is the first step. This is the first layer I have to dig through or access or spend time in order to get to these other more interesting parts of me that I finally feel ready to access. And that kind of goes back to like pursuing love and finding fulfillment in my career and feeling like I can really be who I am. So if you're feeling the same way, that's encouraging. Let me know.